Welcome to another episode of Animator Interviews. My name is Evan Vernon. I'm a contributor at Animation for Adults, as well as Animation Nights New York, also known as ANNY. For those new to ANNY, we are a monthly screening event and yearly festival that celebrates the very best in animation talent. Our artists come from all across the globe, and many have had their work featured at Cannes, Annecy, and other prominent festivals. We receive thousands of submissions each year, and each year we screen just 20 at our annual Best of Fest. Today we're discussing one of those 20. Natalia Mirzoyan is an Armenian artist whose animated short 5 Minutes to See was chosen by our jury as a Best of Fest winner film. Set at the beach, the film follows a young girl who's eager to swim. Her mother allows it, but only if the girl waits 5 minutes before entering the water. Seconds become hours as the girl's thoughts begin to run wild, slowing down time and transporting the people, objects, and animals around her to a fantasy world. Soft and whimsical, 5 Minutes to See is a heartfelt love letter to youth and the beauty of imagination. Today, Natalia has kindly agreed to discuss this film as well as its meaning to her. Today's interview is also public and open to audience questions. We will address all of those as they come in. Natalia, thanks for coming. To start off, give us some background on yourself. What inspired you to become an animator?
First of all, thank you very much for choosing my film. It's a big honor.
Thank you.
And it was not aim for me to become animator. When I was 20, I dreamed to be an artist, a graphic artist, and I was study easel graphic in St. Petersburg. I moved from Armenia. And then I need to earn some money. And I went to studio. Actually, I haven't studied animation, never. I'm a little bit sorry now about that, and maybe I'm going to study now, maybe next year. I have some plans, but I wanted to become artist, and I started animate just to earn money with serial. It's a quite famous serial in Russia. It's children's serial. And I became animator, and then studio suggested me to try to make a series as a director. And I began to direct series. And then I started to make independent film. And my studio producer saw some drawings and say, we can get money for that and you can make a film. And I made my first film then when I was maybe 24 years old. It was quite long ago. So it was my first film. And it had quite success. It was chosen to Berlinale. It was shown at Berlinale, and it won several awards. So it was good for the first film, I think. And I started to go to festivals and knew that it was a lot of big, huge world of independent animation. And I felt in love with it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Natalia. If I heard you correctly, you said that you didn't have much formal education in animation. So the fact that you were able to just pick it up says a lot about you as an artist. And the fact that you were at Berlinale too is amazing. For those listening in, if you don't know what the Berlinale is, it's attached to the European film market, which is one of the largest events in the international film landscape, not just animation. So congratulations, Natalia. That is an amazing way to make your debut.
I don't like now this debut film, but anyhow, it helped me to move over and go on.
Yeah. So fast forward a few years, what inspired this film, 5 Minutes to See? Tell us a little bit about that.
I started from drawings. I had a little child then. She was 1 year old. And we moved to Montenegro for holidays, and I made some sketches on the beach. And Mikhail Aldashin is a mm, artistic director of Soyuzmultfilm. It's a huge studio in Russia. He said that you should make this film from these sketches because they are good for the film. And I started to think over this idea, but I wanted to find some conflict in it, some story, because for me it's not very interesting just to make animated sketches. Right. So my friend, she told me this situation about waiting 5 minutes before she was allowed to go to the sea. It's not my story from my childhood, but it was quite touching for me. And I thought that it is a good thing which can be connected. And somehow this film is documentary because, for example, this old couple I saw in the real life in the beach. And some of these personages from the film I saw and I sketched them. And then I put it in the film.
You can definitely see that in the animation. The characters seem very human and believable. So it's not that surprising that they were inspired by people that you observed in the real world. It's interesting how you slow down time a lot in this film. Take us through your artistic process a little bit for that, Natalia. What kind of inspired you to really stretch that out and make that 5 minutes feel like an eternity?
I thought a lot about time and about time perception, because, of course, with help of being mother, just this experience of being mother helped me a lot, because I remembered a lot of things from my childhood. And when you are a child, time is so long and so long. And when you grow older and older, time started to be faster and faster. Maybe you noticed it.
Yes.
Everybody noticed it. So it was the thing I was thinking about, and I was a little bit sorry about it, because I don't want it to be like that, but the life is it. And I just thought that it will be good to show from the point of view of this girl, for whom the life is still quite long, and compare it to this old couple, which are already very near to death. And just it was not so easy to make, because I didn't use computer help in between, because it's all hand-drawn animation. And actually it's not watercolor, it's markers on the coat paper.
Interesting, yeah.
And this was a really very difficult technique, because these markers are lost colors and they are quite expensive, and they and I had 2 friends which helped me a lot of coloring this film, but all the animation I made majorly by myself, a little bit with help with another animators, and we need to draw all in betweens, because it's easy to make with computer, but if you make drawing animation, you need to draw with little movements. But thanks to my friends, we made it. So it was quite a long process.
Yeah, it looks like it was a very, very tedious, Natalia, but the end result was absolutely beautiful. It has this very soft look to it that is perfect for children. Was there something that inspired you to animate like this?
Yes, I like this type of animation. I like very much Carolyn Leaf's works, or Michaela Muller has a beautiful film about beach painted on the glass. And I like a lot animation which are drawn, and especially, I don't know, I usually change techniques film to film. If you saw my other films, they are quite different. But I wanted a lot to make something with drawn animation, and it was my maybe first experience, or second, with drawn animation, second. But it was quite hard for me, because I also used to scan it and then make it not to shake a lot. But of course, I had some inspirations.
Well, I mean, you already named a big one right there, or a few big ones. I mean, Caroline Leaf is a huge figure in experimental animation, and has a tremendous legacy for constantly redefining the medium. And who knows, Natalia, you might be on your way to doing that too. This was really a precious film, and has a very unique look to it. You've been in the industry for a while, but looking at the future, where do you see yourself as an animator?
Now I have a little child, another little child, and it's just too hard to make film. But I have idea, and maybe I told you recently that I had some sketches about New York.
Yes.
And I had idea that my new film may be somehow connected with New York environment. I want to make short films. I don't have plans for feature films.
Sure.
And but I also want to say that I published this year the book based on this film in Italy, based on film 5 Minutes to See. Yeah. And I hope it will be translated. It's not yet translated. It's only in Italian yet. But I liked a lot this illustration experience as well, and drawings as well. And I don't know, but I would like to make some more independent films. Yeah. Because I usually work as director of series when I need money, and I have a lot of experience with commercial animation, but I feel that it's not so much mine.
Not your thing as much. Yeah. No, thank you so much for sharing, Natalia. I think that anyone who's familiar with the animation industry in general, especially independent animation, knows that it's very labor intensive and financially difficult to get larger projects off the ground. But whether you continue making short films or books, or even maybe do a feature, time and money allowing, we hope that you continue putting work out there. It's very evident that you not only understand children, but also respect and love children. Natalia, it's been a real delight talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your film and your talents with us.
Thank you for asking.
For all those listening in, if you'd like to continue following Natalia, we'll share any social media handles, any professional websites in the interview description. But Natalia, all the best to you. Take care, and we hope to see you at ANNY again in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.